The Mayan Pantheon, the many gods of the Maya. The pantheon of the Maya is a vast collection of deities worshipped throughout the regions of Yucatan, Quintana Roo, Campeche, Tabasco, and Chiapas in Mexico and southward through Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador and Honduras. These gods informed the lives and rituals of the people, established order, and provided hope of a life after death. Let's take a look at these gods and goddesses. Ah, a Maya god of death whose name is not yet known. He is depicted ruling a part of the underworld surrounded by the bones of his subjects. His symbols are a skull and obsidian knife, both related to the practice of human sacrifice. Acan, the god of intoxication, wine, and the art of brewing bolche, a kind of strong mead. His name means either belch or groan, and he is associated with the Lacandan Maya god of drunkenness, Bor, also known as Bol. Acat, the god of the art of tattooing and patron of tattoo artists, Acat is also associated with the growth and development of fetuses. He is further designated by the names Acat-Cib and Ah-Cat. Ah-Bolom-Tzacab, the leaf-nosed god of agriculture, also known as Ah-Bolon-D'zacab. Ah-Cancum, a god of hunting. Ah-Chun-Caan, a tutelary deity, he provided protection at sunrise and sunset. Ah-Chuy-Kat, a minor god of war whose name means fire destroyer. Ah-Ciliz, the god of solar eclipses. Ah-Uaynih, a war god known as the serpent charmer. Ah-Cuxtal, the god of birth. His name means come to life, and he was responsible for the safe delivery of babies into the earthly realm, both physically and spiritually. After a birth he would wash his hands and then move on to the next one. Ahau-Chamahez, one of two great gods of medicine and healing, with Siitibalantan, known as the Lord of the Magic Tooth. Ahluic, the god of merchants and material wealth, often depicted as a member of a triad, with the deities Chek and Hobnil. Ahmucen-Cab, a creator god who, according to the Chilam-Balam creation story, covered the faces of the 13 gods of the day and let them be captured by the 9 gods of the night. During this captivity, he spread seeds and set boulders across the land which grew out of the darkness. This act of creation was later undone and reworked by the Bekabs. Ah-Hulneb, a minor god of water. Ah-Kin, a deity who is an aspect of the sun god, Kinichahau, and controls drought and disease, also known as Ah-Kinchil. Ah-Kumix-Unicob, these were minor water gods who attended to cenotes and pools. Ah-Mun, a god of fertility and protection who was also a personification of maize. Ahmucen-Cab, the deities who presided over and cared for bees. They are also associated with air elemental spirits. Ah-Patnar-Unicob, these deities were elemental gods of water. They were the lords of the 8-day rain ceremony during which they were celebrated. Ah-Pekku, a god of thunder. Ah-Puch, a god of death, darkness, and disaster, but also of regeneration, childbirth, and beginnings. According to the Quiche Maya, he ruled over the underworld of Xibalba, while according to the Yucatec Maya he was one of many of the lords of Metnal, same as Xibalba. He is associated with Sizan, Yam-Simil/Yum-Simil, though Sizan seems to consistently be imagined more darkly. Ah-Tabai, the god of the hunt and protector of animals. Ah-Uaynih, the goddess of sleep. She was especially helpful in putting men to sleep. Ah-Uncir-Dz'acab, the god of natural healing. Ah-Uuc-Ticab, a phonic deity. Ah-Wink-Ir-Masa, a nature goddess who protected wild animals, she is associated with deer. Ah-Xoc-Xin, the god of poetry and music, he was an aspect of the sun god Kinichahau. Ahau-Kin, an aspect of the sun god also known as Jaguar Lord and Lord of the Underworld. Ahmakiq, a god of agriculture and cultivated crops. Ah-Uaynih, a war god associated with archery and known as the Archer. Ajbat, one of the 13 gods who assisted in the creation of human beings from maize following 2 previous failed attempts. Aj-Tsak, One of the 13 gods involved in the attempts to create human beings. Ah-Cuxtal, the goddess of childbirth. Acna, a title applied to Ah-Cuxtal, among other goddesses, which means our mother, and was closely associated with those deities concerned with fertility and childbirth. Alaghom-Naom-Tzentel, the goddess of thought and intellect. She was also known as Ixtat-9. Alum, one of the 13 gods who participated in the creation of human beings. After the successful third attempt, he became known as Hunapuguch. Bacabs, the 4 gods of the winds and the directions who hold up the 4 corners of the world. In Yucatec Maya they are known as Mulic of the east, Can of the south, 9 of the north, and Quoc of the west. Mulic and Can generated positive energies while 9 and Quoc brought negative forces. This confluence of negative and positive energy enabled the early gods to create human beings in the physical and non-physical worlds. They are associated with the deities Acat, Acna, Backlum Chaam, and Chin. Backlum Chaam. One of the Bacabs or an aspect of the Bacabs, he is the god of male sexuality. Balaam, the jaguar deities who protect individual communities against external threat. They also guard and protect people in daily life. The Balams. In the Quiche Maya tradition, the Balams were the 4 gods who made possible the creation of man after 2 previous failed attempts. They were known as Balaam-Agab, Night Jaguar, Balaam-Quitza, Smiling Jaguar, Iki-Balaam, Dark Jaguar, and Mahokata, Not Right Now. According to one myth, their fellow gods grew jealous of their abilities and so clouded their sight, rendering them mortal. Baital, one of the 13 gods who participated in the creation of human beings. After the successful third attempt, he became known as Ixmiquen. He is the early version of Ixmiquen, a later god. Bolon-D'zacab, the lightning god and patron of the harvest. Bolon-D'zacab, a group of 9 chthonic beings of the underworld. They were associated with regeneration. Buluc-Chabtan, also known as God F, this deity is the god of war, violence and death to whom human beings were sacrificed regularly. In the Dresden codices he is depicted as being eaten by maggots. He is further depicted setting homes on fire, killing people, and roasting them on skewers over a fire. In next videos we will talk about the rest of this list. Thank you for watching.